Hey everyone, how's it going? Tech14 Solani1 here with another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle, and this time I got an OU match, and you can see the two matchups, the two teams right there. I obviously am on the bottom left-hand side. I go into my Gengar, start with my Gengar. This is a Choice Band Gengar, basically to try to surprise people, because most people suspect the kind of substitute, pain split kind of Gengar. But he does set up his Cloyster, which is kind of a problem for my team, and that's going to be pretty, tough to beat early on. I do hit him with the Mach Punch, and he does live with 3% HP, which is really frustrating because my Infernape does die there, and now I'm early. I have a deficit of 2 down early on, but I do come back with the Bolt Punch to knock out his Cloyster, which was pretty much the most damaging on his team. And now I'm just going to take the Fury Dance like a champ and Brave Bird for the knockout, tying the game up. And I carry the Roost on my Crobat, so I can protect, a combination of protect and Roost up. He does bring out the Skarmory, and this Skarmory takes literally about 30 turns to knock out, so there is a bit of a stalling tactic here. My basic plan is to just let him set up the spikes and stealth rocks. I do have a chance to pretty much heal anyone from my team. My Kingdra carries Rest, my Crobat carries Roost, and I'm not too worried about my other two Pokemon. I realize that my Scizor is going to eventually die, but I'm not too worried about that. And I go into this thing, and this is my opportunity to pretty much set up my own stealth rocks of my own. And unfortunately I wasn't fast enough to knock out his Skarmory. That would have been really nice to get rid of both the stealth rocks and spikes and knock him out at the same time, but unfortunately it does not happen that way. So I do set up my spikes and my stealth rock of my own, and I do rapid spin all of his barriers away, which must frustrate him a lot. He does roll win me out. I'm just going to take this opportunity to get as much damage on him as possible and force him to Roost up instead of putting out those spikes and stealth rocks. And then my plan is to switch at an appropriate time. But I do want to definitely Roost up here because I'm afraid that my Crobat will die on the next switch in or the next roll wind that he does. So I do Roost up there. And as I said, my Kingdra does carry Rest and Sleep Talk, so I'm not too worried there. I don't really need to worry about the Stealth Rock or Spikes, but I do want to Roost up. You can see now my Crobat is pretty much full HP, and now this and Roll Wind into this Pokemon gives me a chance to Rapid Spin all the barriers away before he Roll Winds. So now I have a 100% health Crobat here against this Skarmory. And I don't really have an attacker to just knock him out completely, so I have to use some combinations of some different stuff and basically just let him stall as much as he wants. But eventually I will get the knockout because he can't kill me here, so it's just kind of a cat and mouse kind of game. And I realize that I can take out pretty much any of the other Pokemon that he has on his team with my remaining 4 Pokemon. So I go for the Brave Bird there. He does live with 6 HP. But he's not going to live for very long. I am faster than him, so I am just going to Outrage for the knockout. And he does a little bit of misplay here. He goes into this tank, and that gives me a chance to just Outrage, and he counters for the knockout. But now his tank is below 20, and I can just Bullet Punch for the knockout. He does Protect, and that's not going to really matter too much, just because I can still Bullet Punch him for the knockout again. So I do Bullet Punch there, and that knocks out his Blissey, and now he just has 2 Pokemon left. I'm just going to do as much damage as I possibly can to this thing. I don't think he can knock me out, so I am going to just Swords Dance up, and he's just going to use some different moves to raise his attack and stuff, but that's not going to really matter too much. I'm going to go into this guy, and he is going to bring up his Dragonite. I'm just going to do the Explosion. I have no use for that Pokemon anymore, so I do Explode, and that brings him down to 14%, and I know I can hit a Bullet Punch for that amount, so I do win the game with the Bullet Punch on my Scizor, and I come back in great fashion. The Gengar and Infernape got knocked out early, so I couldn't use those guys, but the rest of my team bounced back pretty nicely. So let me know how you like this OU match. I like my team a lot. Let me know how you enjoyed it, and I'll see you ever next time. Peace.